everyone. My name is Aaron Murray, and I'm going to be talking about my thoughts and doing a reflection on the Innovators Mindset by George Couros. This is through the Winona State cohort. I apologize. I also have to apologize if there's any background noise. It's probably this one. I'm pet sitting tonight. So I've got 4 dogs in the house currently, 2 of my own and 2 visitors, and there might be some noise, so I apologize. Anyways, getting on to the book. I think it's a good book. It's a very short read. It's very impactful, and it reads more like a teacher-oriented self-help book than it does a guide for anything. There's no concrete do this, do that. And for me, someone who's very go by the seat of my pants kind of attitude, I like that. I like that it doesn't structure things. It basically is a way of thinking. It's a way of checking your attitudes and mentalities and developing your own strengths. Strength-based learning. It's very good. Anyways, so I don't have a script. I'm just kind of talking, off the top of my head, like I said. I think it's a great book. One of the things that it accomplishes very well is it takes the idea of this notion that innovation is solely technology, and it really flips that right away, and it says, no, please understand that technology definitely can help innovation, but it's not the cornerstone. It's not the essential. It's actually can be too cumbersome and too intrusive to innovation if it's not used properly, and that technology should only be used when it's appropriate. And I really liked that. So he takes this whole book and he, in the first couple pages, says that, we need to get that out of here because technology for technology's sake isn't learning. And what he does say about learning is that we need to get away from the idea of school and to the idea of learning. He talks about the difference between school and learning, and I really like that. Another chapter that I thought was very powerful was about relationships. My favorite book is How to Win Friends and Influence People by Dale Carnegie, the classic. I think it's the best book there is. And for teachers, I feel like this is nearly the equivalent. It's very, very good in that aspect. And chapter 5 is all about relationships. It talks about building them and the importance of relationships with your teaching peers and your district and also the students, and how to engage them and how to not be above them, and how you operate as somebody who's there to help them and guide them, but not by overshadowing them. And I really, really like that. As I go to the front here and I look to the chapters, I'm just going to list off a few of them to give you more of a concrete idea of what this book is really about, because like I said, I don't have a script, and the book does a better job of explaining it than I do. So it talks about learning, leading, and innovating, engaging versus empowering, creating a shared vision, strengths-based leadership, and learning. Less is more. I mean, everything this book is, it's things we need to hear, because as teachers we get in this rut, and the teacher burnout rate is so intense because there's so many initiatives that districts throw at us that without the right ways we kind of get lost in them. And I think that this book does a great job of saying, okay, what is really important? We need this kind of less is more attitude. We need this idea that we only need to supplement things that can and should be supplemented, and not just because we can. And in fact, a lot of times it says, take the most simplistic route. Innovative is not that, being innovative is not that difficult when you take the simplistic route, because sometimes it's just the short and simple that gets you through it. I think George Couros is a very experienced educator, and what he talks about in this book is how he got his, where this book came from through his blog, which resulted in him becoming I believe I'd misconstrue the title of what he was, but basically for this district, he was something along the title of an innovator, like a district planning innovator, as like an assistant principal. And he got the chance to try a lot of things. And so he learned from failure, and he learned by mistake and learned by doing. And that's another thing that he talks about, is that it's okay to make mistakes when trying new things. And it's really, for example, he says that there are all these districts out there with the motto of lifelong learning, but yet we don't really model that. We don't model that, because if a student comes to us and we don't have the answer, we scramble and we try to make one up and feel like we have it. But it doesn't model lifelong learning when we don't have the answer, because in truth, sometimes we need to say, hey, I'm not there yet. I'm just like you. I'm still learning, and come back to me. Give me some time. I will find you the right answer, or I find the right way of doing this. And maybe you can help me with it, because, you can apply yourself as well. So, long story short, this book is good. I think it does a great job of explaining itself and reading like something that should be read. It's not taxing. It's a good book, and I think it has a lot of good takeaways. So I can't really speak more highly than it is. Like I said, it's the equivalent of How to Win Friends and Influence People for Teachers. I highly suggest it. Again, the name is The Innovators Mindset by George Couros. Please pick it up, have a read. Thanks for watching.